Okay. Alright guys, sorry, I don't have a lot of time right now, so I didn't have much time to film a video this week because of, lights and stuff. So if you're wondering why things look a little different with my no green lights, it's because of that. So I filmed the demo last night and that's done. I just need to put in an introduction and explain what's going on here. So in this video I'm going to show you how to write a HelloWorld program. I'm going to show you how to pass values into it, and then I'm going to show you how to run it from Eclipse and run it from command line. And hopefully I'm going to get all that done before everyone wakes up. Okay, so let's create our first Java project. Scroll up here to File, click on New, and click on Java Project. I'm going to give it a name called HelloWorld, and I'm going to leave the defaults here because I'm just going to click on Finish. And that just should create my project up here. You can see it's got nothing in it, it's just an empty project. But I'm about to rectify that because I need a class, because there's no point having a Java project without any Java code. So right click on your source file, go to New, and instead of this time click on Class. I'm going to name this Hello World for now, and I'm going to click on Finish. So if you watched my last video, I kind of talked about why an IDE was handy, because look at this, as soon as I just created the class file, it kind of gave me this template here to work off. The less typing I have to do, the less errors I'll possibly run into. I'm going to create my main method, so I'm going to press enter there, and I'm going to type in public static void main. Look at this, I'm like a wizard writing a spell. string string args, and I'm going to put this as an array here. Don't know why I did that backwards, but I did. I'm going to put in my curly brackets here and press enter and save this, and you can see everything looks okay. Now there's a lot going on here with the main method. You see I have this public word, this static word, this void word, this string args, but I really don't want to go into too much detail about all of these things, because things like public and static will get their own video, because there's a bit more going on than what I'll use here in the main method. Suffice to say, when you do create the main method, this is the form it takes: public static void main string args. Well, string array args. But for now, I'm just going to finish off this and type in sysout like this. Press Control and space, and look at that, the IDE auto completes that for me. Add in my double quotes here and go hello world. Put an exclamation mark in there. Control S to save it. Come up here to the run hello world and click on it, and you can see that's it, it ran my hello world. Nice. So you can see this is again another advantage of the IDE. I could run it here inside the IDE as opposed to running it in command line. But if you really want, you can run it in command line. If you just go into your workspace folder, click on hello world, go into the bin folder, you can, well, I'm going to pull down the path here, open a command line, drag it over here, cd into this. I'm just in the bin folder now. You can see there's my hello world class, and go Java. Yeah, just like we did in the last video. So it's pretty much what I got here is exactly what happened here. But the only thing I really want to go into detail here with you is with string array args, because this is what you can pass into your main method. An array of strings. Now, an array is kind of like a list of values, but in this case it's a list of what we call strings. And this is an example of a string here, hello world. It's like a sentence or a word or a group of characters. Now I'm going to go into a lot more details on primitives and strings and objects in another video, but for now I'm just going to kind of brush over this so I can give you more details on the main method. So what I'm going to do is I want to pass a value into my main method, because I didn't really have a lot of control here. I just kind of pressed run and it spat out what I asked it to there. So let me just show you something here. I'm going to go string. I'm going to say name equals args, which is the name of that value there, and I'm going to press square bracket 0 and put my semicolon there, because you always need a semicolon at the end of each line of code. Now all I'm saying here is this list of strings, look at the first element in it and assign it to this value name. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of world from this sentence, maybe get rid of the exclamation mark. I don't know why I worded that bad. Me word bad sometimes. Press the plus sign because I'm about to concatenate this string to this sentence. So what this is expected to do is just say hello, whatever name I pass into the arguments here. Now if I try to run this here, this should break because it's saying, hang on a second, on line 5, which is this, you tried to access an element and I didn't see anything in it. So it pretty much just had a convulsion and decided to cop out on me. So what I'm going to do is to pass a value in Eclipse, I can, well actually first, if I was going to pass a value in command line, should be pretty, I actually don't know if I showed you this in the last video, but I just do what I did the last time. Java, name of the class, and here I'll pass in the value. I might go John. And you can see it went hello John because it was supposed to go hello name. Now you can do the same thing in Eclipse. If you click on this arrow up here, go into run configurations, find your Java applications here, and I see I've created 2 actually, but I have 1 here. I'll do this from the start. I'm just going to create a new one. Go HelloWorld 1, yes, like that. And I'll go into arguments, and in program arguments, I might pass in Brian. And I'll click on run. And you can see here it said hello Brian, because that's what I passed in. Now if it was a bit weird, I should have said actually at the start, when I said give me the first element of the list of arrays, I passed in 0. That's because all arrays start at 0, not 1, as you might think if you've never done programming before. Congratulations, now you're going to understand at least 10% of programming memes on Reddit, and probably a lot more depending on the time of the year. But what happens if I had multiple names? Let's say I went hello name, and I went quotation marks, put a plus sign here so it won't hiccup, space, hello, space, plus this, name 1. I'll just call it this. No, don't do that in code. Don't do that. Don't name variables name and name 1 and name 2. That's terrible. I'm just not good at naming things on the spot, and I probably just went second name. Why didn't I call it second name? Ugh. Yeah, I can't change that. I don't have time to change that. Just don't do that. Bad coding practice. Hands up. Bad coding practice. That's terrible. And it's giving me a red mark there because I haven't declared what name 1 is. And I'm going to say name 1 will be the second element in my array, which gets the number 1. I'm so disappointed in me. Again, I'll run this and I should end up with an error because it's saying, hang on a second. This time I found an error on line 6, and it's because I didn't see anything at the index of 1 in the array, which is the second space in the array. So you can, of course, do it here in command line. Go hello world John, and I might pass in Brian as well, and you'll see hello John, hello Brian, and of course, should be pretty obvious by now, but you can go into run configurations as well, into arguments, and go hello Brian, hello Rob. I'll just do a different name so it looks different. Just like that. I think that's one of the most important features of the main method, is being able to pass in values, because when your Java project gets really big and you've got a lot of class files, you do need to start it somewhere, and that's what the main method's for. And knowing that you can pass in values like this, it'll give you the ability to decide how to run your program. Like maybe if someone passes in I don't know, an IP address or a value like true, that might mean that you might do things in here differently than if you passed in a value of false or something else. So thanks for sitting through another 9-minute video. I keep meaning to make these videos shorter, but it's just not happening like that. So if you've gotten to the end of this video, it means 2 things. 1, you really like my content, and I just want to say thank you for watching the video. The other reason is you've probably just left the TV or the laptop running, and you're on the other side of the room and you can't get to it, and I just won't shut up, and here I am, I'm still on the screen. In that case, sorry, I know the feeling. I've ended up watching so many psychological breakdowns of the characters on Mad Men that way. You know, one video runs, then the next one, then the next one, and I'm just like, I got a baby here, I've got a bottle here, I've got a remote control over there, and I can do nothing about it. Anyways, see you next time. Good luck.